are Metasource Games. I'm Robert Trusardi.
And I'm Joshua Aridhall Cantrell. We believe in scarcity-based gaming and the power of player ownership.
We are a small team focused on becoming number one in blockchain and metaverse gaming.
So get ready and take a ride with us through the Metasource.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Through the Metasource number 5, and this is going to be the big one where we just ended the Lumberjack crafting event, and we're going to give away, is it 389 packs of
389.
Yeah, 389 packs, these mystery prizes. If you've seen it, it is on the website. We're going to be giving away Baron Mint number 1 in one of these packs. There's also going to be Lumberjack Mint number 1, 2, and 3. As well as some King's packs, Bankers packs, Minstrel packs, and a whole bunch of other stuff, 243 farms. And so what's going to happen is we're going to have a two-step process today where we're going to essentially show you guys all of the 10,000 raffle tickets that were minted. And then we're going to do randomization where we're going to filter, basically randomize those into basically a top 1,000. And then those top 1,000 are going to go into the grand tournament for the marble race that we're going to do, because you only can fit 1,000 into marble race. So we figured we'd do it this way, and we could actually kind of get it done quick and a little bit faster. So if you have multiple tickets, if you have multiple raffle tickets for the crafting event, basically, you know, each ticket is going to be 1 point in the event. So a person can actually have multiple, they can actually be entered multiple times into the final marble rally that we're going to do. So that's basically how it works. For each craft that you did of the Lumberjack, you got 1 point into the raffle, and it is possible for you to win multiple times. My name is Robert Trusardi. I forgot to say that. I'm sure most of you already know who I am. This is Josh Cantrell, my business partner in creating Metasource Games and Castles, the NFT game. And so we're also going to make a couple of small announcements. We'll probably start with some of those, and then we'll also probably do an AMA, a little bit, a tiny AMA after the marble event, and you guys can ask us some of your juicy questions. So anything you want to say, Josh, before we get into it?
I'm just enjoying the comments right now, reading through. Who was it? I have to scroll back up. Warcry. I'm in the dungeon alpha right now. It's so accurate. You have no idea. It's a real life dungeon down here. You should see the monsters that I've been battling. Very intense. Also, check it out. I'm wearing the Baron shirt. Oh yeah, love it. You can get yourself one if you haven't yet ordered one. They are available, and there are. I have gotten alerts. I'm not sure if they automatically get sent to you guys who have purchased. There's maybe 10 people that have bought some, and some of them should be arriving, and maybe some of you already have them, as a matter of fact. So hopefully you've got some of those, or they should be coming soon. I ordered one for my wife. She was mad. I ordered 3 for me so that I could test out the different colors. She was ticked off. She's a very different size shirt than me, so she had to get one for herself. She just got it yesterday.
Oh, cute. Austin, Hannah, Robert, where's your shirt? People kept asking me that question when we did a YouTube video the other day, because we had met up in Fresno, because he lives in Montana now and I live in San Jose, and they're like, Robert, where's your shirt? I don't know what to tell you. I was too lazy to get one so far.
We've got one coming for you here real soon. We're gonna get you at least 1 or 2 sent to your address very shortly.
Nice. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get into the announcements then. The first announcement was something that Josh was thinking about, which was that so we did have an issue with the essentially these botters who had come in and they had botted the drop, the Baron drop, although a lot of people had merged hoping to get a Baron from that drop. And so, that was our responsibility. That didn't go the way that we wanted to. We're now aware of just how that we're a bigger project now, and that people, botters, scripters are going to target us to try to make profits off of our players. So we have to essentially change how we're doing some of our drops so that it's fair and that the botters don't get it before our users. But that being said, Josh was thinking about how to compensate everyone who had those whitelist tickets, and especially compensate anyone who might have actually merged just for the chance to get one of those barons, and then that the odds were really against them with those bots. So Josh, you want to talk about your solution for that?
Yeah, so I will share it. Let me pull this up, and I will share it for everybody in the Discord if you like. It will be there. Let me see here. So what we went ahead and did is we created a snapshot. We went through and we removed all of the bots as best as we possibly could. And the method that we did to remove any of the bots from the list was anybody who merged just farms and then immediately got rid of the ranch. And so therefore they had nothing in their wallet except for that whitelist ticket. Every single one of those people was eliminated from this list. And we know that's the case with the botters. That was the easiest way for us to remove all the bots, because obviously the bots are 100% about profit. So as soon as they merge to satisfy the requirements, they're immediately dumping the resources back onto the market. And so we've removed all the bots, and we have a list now of, let's see, let me give you the number, and I'll share it in a second. About 740 people that we've
a lot
confirmed.
Of bots. Wow.
Yeah, so if you do the math, it's about 400 bots that we had. That's a very crazy amount of bots.
Wow, I had no idea it was that much. It's kind of good that we're also doing this so that we can have that number, just so we know.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was nearly that many, but hearing that many kind of now makes a little more sense why things went the way it did. But I don't think we've told them why we're making this list yet, have we?
No, I'll get to that right now. So this list, I have just posted it in announcements, so you should be able to see yourself on it. Most likely, if you're watching and you were on the original list, you're going to be on this list. We can potentially make an exception if you did something very unusual and somehow are not on this list. We can use the blockchain to confirm that. But this list, everybody who is on this list, you got that right, Savage. Everybody who's on this list, we are going to give every single person one of our promo prologue packs as compensation for some wasted time and effort. I know that that's a small thing. People are like, I want a Baron, but there's no way we can give out 700 Barons. I'm really sorry, but there's no way we can do that. And all of the existing Baron owners would be quite upset. So if you did meet the requirements here and you did try to get the Baron, you should get at least this prologue pack from us, which is at very least a free farm. At very least, the pack will give you a farm. It may, if you get lucky, there's a 20% chance you actually get a ranch out of it. So every single one of you on this list will get a prologue pack, and we are. Robert said it already. We underestimated how much the botters would be attacking us. We knew that it was a possibility. We just didn't think that they would attack as hard as they did. So that was our mistake. And because it was our mistake, that's why we wanted to give you guys back something. Make sure to get if you guys have a couple of known scammers that you want us to review, send us that information. We can review also. So I appreciate that. I won't worry about sending this until after the stream is over. So anybody who wants to go through the list and flag us to any known scammers, we will review. So we appreciate that too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so thank you, Josh, as well for coming up with that solution and doing the work to get the bots out of the list and to get the players in. And like you said, we'll give a little bit of time to review the list if you think there's anyone who either number one should be on the list and for some reason isn't. Let us know, and we'll look into it. And anyone who should not be on the list because you think it's a known bot account or something or a scammer, go ahead and just give us all the information that you have on that. Put it in support, and we'll should they put some kind of marker in there so that we can basically like do a search for it, be like I don't know, like exclamation point whitelist fix or
Honestly,
something like that.
you guys can just at me in community chat, and I'll go through it later.
All
That's
right,
fine.
all right.
That's an easy way to do it. A couple of funny questions and suggestions based on this. Make it a banker's pack more reasonable. Yeah, not going to happen. Sorry. I'm sure everyone would love that, but
And already this is
740.
going to be close to like what, $6,000 or something in assets, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big giveaway that we're doing because farms are, I don't know, $8-9 a piece right now, and that's the minimum of what you're getting here. So it's a pretty big giveaway. Bankers packs are like $200 a piece, so that would be pretty insane. But there was a question I wanted to take a look at. The question was, will we implement something more interactive in the future for our whitelists? I assume is the question. Absolutely, absolutely. We will have much more interactive stuff. At very least, we will be doing more like raffle to get in kind of whitelists. We'll make sure that people are real, and we'll have some ways of screening and some ways of keeping the numbers down, so not everyone in the world has to be waiting. We'll have some good stuff for you as far as the next drop is concerned. Once we're a little closer, we're full speed ahead towards carpenters right now. So once we have carpenters up and live for you guys, we can start reviewing some more things, and we'll get to that too.
Great. So I guess that's it on the whitelist stuff for now, right? And it looks like this has been a pretty positive thing. A lot of people saying thank you for the pack and such. And Josh, your mouth kind of keeps getting cut off when I put these up. I don't know if you want to adjust your camera a little bit. Be like, whatever you want to do, Josh. But yeah, I think the response seems pretty positive. So we're happy to hear that.
There we go.
Yeah, we really apologize for what happened with those bots. I think it's kind of weird being from a project that nobody knew about, that we didn't have any issues with any botting, and then suddenly now we have the botting. We have scammers coming into our Discord trying to trick you guys into thinking that there's like legitimate drops happening, but there's not. You guys got to watch out for that. We will never message you first. We'll never message you being like, oh, let's Metasource Games. We're going to give you like a giveaway. Click on this link, and then we'll give you like a banker pack. Don't believe that. It's a lie. It's a scammer. They're trying to pretend they're us. We've taken measures. We have added now, if someone's going to join the Discord, they have to have a phone verified account. We think that's going to go, hopefully a long ways into deterring any kind of bot raids, things like that, who come in and like I think 300 bots tried to come in one day, and I was like, that's it. Like, we're putting on the phone verification thing. And so hopefully that will go a long way to stopping the bots coming into the Discord, and the bats. Hate the bats. and we've also added some anti bot raid stuff. I'm a loose on those details, but and also really huge thanks to our moderators who were really helping us out while all this stuff was going on. And they've been very gracious and thoughtful with our gaming community, so we appreciate our moderators. And whenever I say that, I've got to say shout out to Apex NFT as well, our partners in building the game and the website. They do an amazing job. They take really great care of you guys. They really care that you guys are having a good experience, and they're brainstorming like almost every day how to continue improving the experience for you guys. And they're doing an amazing job with the website. We asked them to make a AAA website And so when people come to the website, they know that we're a serious business and that this is a high quality game. And it's looking amazing. Like, it's actually kind of blowing me away. They've showed us there's still kind of like that depth perception going on. You move around the page and like things kind of move around. It's really cool. And so they're doing a really wonderful job with that. So that being said, let's talk about the other things that we have to do before we do the giveaway. So the other one is Lumberjack. So we're not going to give away all the details yet because some of them are subject to change slightly. But there were more Lumberjacks crafted than we were expecting, and that's okay. We basically set the rules and then you guys play the game and we see what happens. So you guys did craft way more Lumberjacks than we thought would be created, and that's all right. It's going to mean that a lot of people got lumber at what we consider a discount in terms of the economy, because now it's going to cost 400 Metasource and 4 royal seals in order to create new lumber, and eventually that's going to catch up. Like, eventually, as people start to craft the royal courthouse bounties and the guild bounties, explorers guild bounties, and then start crafting the land packs, it's going to be really cool to see how all this works out in the long run. That being said, we're going to hold like a mini event in the future. It's not going to be anytime soon because we realize that there are many people building strategies in the game about how they were going to handle the lumberjacks and the crafting. So we don't want to mess up anybody's strategy, basically. And so we're kind of putting this down the road, probably happening like after the Explorers Guild. We will probably give you guys an option to do something with your lumberjacks that have 0 charge. So it's a ways away, but something that we think you guys should be aware of, so that we don't have any inside information really on this, that you guys know something's coming, but definitely doesn't give us any kind of advantage knowing what it is exactly, but that you guys do know something's going to come for that as well. Any other comments on that, Josh?
Yeah. So just, we don't want, it is subject to change a little bit. So we can't give you exact numbers because we don't want to hold we don't want to have undue influence over the secondary economy. That's definitely the thing we don't want. But we do want everyone to know in the future, it is very possible or almost certain that there will be an event that burns the lumberjacks and you will get something back for doing it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Hold on to them if you feel like holding on to them. Sell them if you feel like selling them. You do what you want to do, but we want to make sure that you are informed so that you can make informed decisions. That's the important thing.
Cookie Boy, yeah, it's the 0 charge lumberjacks that you'll be able to essentially burn and convert into a reward. And the reward we think is going to be commensurate at the time of the economy, whatever it's like. And it's kind of too early to kind of even say what that is. But we think whatever it is you're going to convert it is probably going to be a direct relation to whatever the value provides in the economy at that time. But it's still quite a ways away. All right, cool. So let's see. K. Peter says, when will we get to know what it is exactly? Probably after the Explorers Guild. After the Explorers Guild crafting event is over. So it's like the end of May, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the end of May at the end of May is basically what we can say about that.
Or more like the beginning of June, probably, actually. Yeah, that's I thank you for highlighting that. I wanted to answer that. It's not, I mean, that's slightly it, but it's not just the lack of lumberjack scarcity, but partially because there's so many of them that they, even considering down the road a little ways, there's more of them than can be reasonably recharged. And so yes, that does kind of go back to scarcity a little bit. It's just, 10,000 of them. If somebody does the math, I think it's something like what is that? 40 billion or something crazy. Recharge cost a week. Let's see. Somebody do the math for me. 10,000 lumberjacks here. I've got my calculator times 400,000 Msource. It's 4 billion. 4 billion.
Yeah, well,
Metasource
we're gonna
per
have, probably 4 times more lands
Sure.
in existence in a couple of months. Like it's gonna be like maybe, I don't know, 2-3 months. We're gonna have 4 times more lands than we have right now. But we plan to scale up the user base as well. And even with 4 times more lands, it's still a lot of lumberjacks that are out there. And so and we also called them epic. They're labeled epic. The lumber is epic, which makes more sense. But in terms of the economy right now, to have something epic that has like basically 10,000 NFTs, I'm not sure about that. We kind of want to basically get things back and to like what makes sense. I don't even know why I highlighted this one.
That's a good one to answer, actually. I was thinking about answering it real quick. You can manually recharge barons early if you want to. You just have to do it manually. So if you're on our site and you click on them, they have a recharge button that you should be able to recharge them early if you want to. I believe that it's still there. It used to be. It used to be there. It should still be there. The mass recharge button won't ever do that though, for obvious reasons, because then it would just try and make you recharge your barons every single day, which would be a waste of a lot of seals.
And at the risk of looking bad, there's a third thing I knew that we should talk about in the stream, and twice I thought maybe I should write this down, and I kept forgetting about it. It was in a meeting that we had yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, and we were like, oh, we should talk about these two things during the stream. One was the whitelist, and I really can't remember what the other one was. I was just thinking about it today. I was like, oh. But what was the other thing that we needed to tell them about, or we wanted to tell them about? It wasn't the lumberjack thing.
I'm not sure. You keep you're. I know you've swore there's one other thing.
It's
stuck in your brain somewhere. It's stuck in your brain somewhere.
I said it to you, so you're supposed to help me remember.
I'm his memory now, you guys. I'm supposed to remember everything. I don't know. Hopefully it'll come to us.
Yeah. Dang, I thought you're not my personal notepad. It's like, gosh, write this down. I mean, because the whitelist thing was important, so that they could get compensated. But does it have to do? I feel like it has to do with Explorer's Guild, right? Like, it's gonna burn minutes like this. I feel silly. I'm sure it'll come to me at some point during the stream. But
I know we talked about the crafting costs for the Explorers Guild, which a lot of people are interested in, but I'm pretty sure we didn't come to a full resolution on that yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's something we needed to discuss in the stream. Well, we'll just move on to the races for now, and I'm sure it'll come to me. I'll keep trying to think about it. At the least, I'll just let you guys know in the Discord announcements what it was. So let's do the part where basically we have this list of just over 10,000 unique raffle tickets that were created, and we're going to basically pare that down into a list of 1,000. So I remember you were telling me how you want to do this, so let me just...
Yeah, let me so first of all, let's make this super fair. So Robert will probably share his screen too, but I'm also posting right now. It's in Discord, so you can see it in the announcements channel. And sorry if there's any random weird noises. My wife is apparently vacuuming right above my head right now, so that's awesome.
I can totally hear it.
Can you? Oh my goodness, great timing. She knows I'm streaming too. I'll go throw something at her later, but I'm kidding. It's a joke. Please don't take that the wrong way. But go ahead and take a look at this Lumberjack raffle list here. And you can see if, Robert, if you want to scroll down to the bottom of that, you can see that there are all 10,020. I know that the mint numbers go up to 10,021, but the very first ticket was minted by us as a tester to make sure, and we burned it, so you can clearly look at the tickets and see one burned, and so that's why there's 10,020. So you see the whole list, and what we're going to do is we're going to randomize this list. Everybody is on this list. Every single ticket you have has entered your wallet as many times as you have it. I think Kriznitz has the most at 500 tickets. Woo, that is insane. But that's the way that this is going to work. We're going to randomize this list. We're going to randomize it right now live so you can see. I'm going to do it right now so you can see the top person on the list is this tbwbk.wham. I'm forgetting whose wallet that is, but it's familiar to me. Okay, column actions randomized. So we are randomizing the entire column right now. Boom. And there we go. So now we have a totally randomized list here. And what we're going to do, so we're going to go down to 1,000 and we're going to get rid of the rest. Bye. Sorry, guys. So everybody beyond 1,000, starting at 1,001. Let me make sure that I do this right. So this was the qualifier round, starting at 1,001. Goodbye. So now we have exactly 1,000 left, and these 1,000 tickets will now be our competitors, completely fair in the marble race, and the top 389 in that race are the ones that will be getting the packs. Your position in the race doesn't matter. And if you win multiple because your name's still on the list multiple times, you can get multiple. Absolutely. So just this is for everybody. Okay, just glancing at the list. It looks good. Yeah, so all similar to our buyback packs. If you were around for the buyback a few weeks ago, we pre-minted and packed all of the 389. All of those rewards are in a pack. We have no control over what will happen when you unpack it, other than it will be one of those 389 rewards. And so hopefully you get the really good ones, but everybody should be aware there are a lot of farms in there too. So anybody who wants to buy them on secondary afterwards, it is allowed, but just be aware there are a lot of farms in there. So make smart decisions based on that, please.
So yeah, so you posted that link in the
like
Discord. I don't know if you said that, but let's just.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll just reiterate. If you want to see this whole list, go into the Discord or Discord announcements, and those top 1,000 people are the ones who are going to be in the marble race that we're going to hold in a couple of minutes, and the top 389 people will get a pack. Well, top 389 from the marble race. So hopefully that is clear to everyone. Yeah, so only basically 1,000 individual, or I shouldn't say individual, 1,000 wallets. Some of these are going to show up multiple times because that means that person basically, like we've said, you can win multiple times in this. And so hopefully what is happening is clear to everyone. If not, I'm sure that's clear to some of you. So just keep, explaining to people what's happening. All right. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the marble race. And
marbles.
First, I'm going to have to export.
Yeah, export to CSV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this looks right to me. Checking something. Okay, yes, there are 1,000 in that list. Now, let's marbles on stream. So there are 389 prizes going out total. And unfortunately, not everyone's going to make the list. It's RNG in here. Random number generators, guys. All right. So I will share my screen in a second. I'm just going to.
Yeah, we thought about doing a whole bunch of marble races or a whole ton of grubfish battles, but ultimately we ran a couple of tests and found it was going to take a really, really long time. And even something fun like marbles and winning free packs, it gets old when you do it like 10 times in a row. So it's not the most fun thing.
All right. So since there's no sound on this, we're gonna have to like supply our own music and commentary and
Oh
things.
gosh.
But yeah, so I've loaded the list here. You can see it's actually in the order that the list generated it. I do recognize some of these wallets in here, of course, because some of the people who've been with us longest made the most. So I'm not going to name names. I'm in this list too. So,
I have a bunch in this list.
yeah,
but I did make the third
anyways,
most
it's all fair. We've been
Lumberjack.
transparent. We're showing you guys how this happens. So we have the 1,000 people in this list now who are loaded, and I guess now we'll do it. So there's a lot of maps to choose from here. So I guess we get to choose like a map we want to go on. There's one called Convergence, the House of Pain, Robotic Roadway. Is there anything that's kind of like Castle, Temple of Steve?
So every ticket had
Castle
the same
Siege.
odds. It's double layer of RNG. I do get that comment, but it's still the same. It's a first layer, preliminary RNG roll, followed by the game roll, and it's exactly even odds for every individual ticket.
Now I'm trying to remember where the heck the race button is. So I have the map I want selected. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
That is bad UI. All right, guys. You guys ready for this? There's remember, guys, explain it to other guys. We basically had a list of 10,000 people. And if you just came into the stream, there's a list of 10,000 people. Since marbles cannot fit 10,000 people, what we did was we just filmed ourselves basically randoming 1,000 wallets who are going to be in the race for the top 1,000. You may see multiple names because that's just the way it is, or there are going to be people who have multiple wallets inside of this race. And if you want to see if you are in this race, go on the Discord. It is there in announcements. And the last list that we just posted is the 1,000 qualifiers who are going to be in the race to get the 389 packs. All right, here we go. You ready, Josh?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. Click and race. Castle Siege is the name of this race. All right, so
Oh my.
yeah, all right, let's do a countdown. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're off to the races.
So I'm wearing a hat today, you guys. I think I need to get a tricorn. What do you guys think? A big old
Josh,
Baron hat with a feather. I'm in first place. Yeah, that's mine. Oh no! No, I'd fallen
that's not a
behind.
long-term user. I know this wallet. Oh, look at he's got like a straight shot. Oh, we were totally in the castle. Look at this. Oh my gosh, there's like fireballs flying out. Is this still? Yeah, Edgy is still number 1. Toy Store is number 9.
Go, go, go.
You're number 5. Oh, I think you just died. You were.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There you are, 5 again. Oh, so this is just like one long. It's just. I guess the goal is to not get destroyed by things. Uh oh. There's an usurper here.
Oh
Oh.
no!
He just like I don't know. He just
GG.
ran out of. He just ran out of stamina. Oh, there's more bombs flying out here.
That's amazing.
Winner right now is Peace or top one. So we're doing the top 389 here, but top 389. We could probably give like the number one winner something special. Showing like another prologue pack or something.
Sure, I'm good with it.
Oh.
Go, go, go!
Look at how many people are on this thing. It's ridiculous. Oh,
The
we're almost at the
boss.
finish
Oh.
line. Here we go. X2CB4. Oh, X2CB4. Here the boss. TWBWK is back again. Look at all
Got
these
2 in the
people.
top 10.
Oh, now they're just like piling in. How do I? Here we go. Now they're
Oh,
they're
bunch
like
of
get in
skulls
line
for
for the
mine.
top 389. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Bunch of my wallets got blown up.
Ooh. All right, I think that might be it, guys. I think the top 389 are. Well, we'll wait for it all to come finish, though, and let everybody get in there. Woo. The castle siege continues. A couple of stragglers way over here. Oh, and I guess this fire is basically going to destroy. Oh gosh, look at you!
Oh,
You're
look,
about to
there I am. I'm gonna die.
You're about to get destroyed.
Oh no!
Oh. Everybody else is like, oh, it's coming for you. It's coming for you. You're in last place, and it's oh, it just
Oh,
ate you up.
GG. That's what it looks like to be in last place, everybody.
You're boss. There we go. Winner of this, we're going to give you an extra prologue pack for being number one. Is X2CB4.wham. So we're going to click here, see the final results. And going to copy this to the clipboard, and we're going to post this list as the top 300.
Paste it in the B column of the sheet. Do you still have it open?
The B column of the sheet.
I'll show you what to do.
Yeah, I almost certainly still have it open. Yeah. There we go.
There you go. That's it.
Do you want to? Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So just delete what the top.
Yeah, I got it.
Everybody except for the top 389,
Mm-hmm.
and then. Do you also want to post that list inside the Discord?
It's in the. They should actually be able to see it already.
Oh, sure. Oh, that's right. They can see it all.
Yep. So I will do this real quick. Bye.
Meet the losers. You get to go
Sorry,
search
everybody.
for wallets if you're in there. Why are some of those highlighted?
Hold on.
I know it's weird. GM. Are those actual wallets? .gm? I guess they can be.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, the .gm wallets. Just in case anybody was wondering, I was confused by these .gm wallets for the longest time. I didn't know where they were coming from. So just in case you want to know how to make a .gm wallet, that is from the Anchor mobile wallet. If you make an Anchor mobile wallet with the Anchor mobile app, it costs like $2 or something. So I don't know that it's necessarily the best choice, the most affordable choice, but it does allow you to make a custom name of any length that ends in .gm. It's kind of cool. So.
Yeah, I think we're seeing more losers than winners right now, but it makes sense, right?
Well, there were 10,020 tickets, and obviously only 389 prizes is a lot of prizes, but compared to 10,000, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people, no question.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you all for playing the crafting game. Crafting the Lumberjacks is a really exciting event. We appreciate you guys playing our game and participating in the game with us. And so congratulations to all of the winners, the top 389. We'll be sending those packs out today, right?
Yes, I'll start working on it right away. Before I do anything, sending them out, I will answer a couple of questions in Discord, and I'll review any of the information about potential bots and things like that.
All right.
Congrats again, guys.
Yeah, congrats. And so those those prizes will be mystery prizes, basically put into a pack. So you'll be able to sell these packs if you want on the secondary market under promos. It's up to you whether or not you want to open it or sell it, see if someone else wants to try their luck. But we really like this kind of gamification. We think it's a fun way to do things. Hey, I didn't get the pack for the whitelist Baron. My wallet wasn't on the list. Can you help?
Discord.
Yeah, go Discord and mention Josh Hall and let him know that your wallet name and look into it.
Yeah, I can review individual wallets, but our list was pretty good. Our lists are already on Discord, by the way. Both the lists are in announcements. The first list is the Barons. Here, I'll edit that. Baron give back list. There you go. I'm labeling them, and Lumberjack raffle ticket winners. There you go. So in the announcement section, both of those links, they're publicly viewable. So you should be able to see the 389 winners from this marble race and the Baron give back prologue pack list. If you should be on the list, you can send me a DM. It's possible that the snapshot tool made a mistake. It's possible. But chances are, if you didn't make the list, you're not going to get a pack because you probably don't qualify for one. So that's just if you merged 3 farms and then stopped playing the game because all you wanted to do was try and get a Baron, you're not going to qualify. That's the rules of this list. Because if you're not continuing to play the game, that is what it is. We're avoiding people that were just trying to flip Barons. That all the botters that's why they are eliminated. So just be aware that not everybody who wants to get a compensation pack will be eligible. Just so you know, I will review them personally.
All right, so I just wanted to respond to this by Scott. He said, seems like all the winners won multiple times and might need to rethink the strategy if you guys do it again. I think it's totally fair. It's basically 1 craft equals 1 chance to win. So it's kind of like saying if someone bought more lottery tickets, if they had a better chance of winning the lottery, it's like, well, yeah, they paid for those lotto tickets. They paid fairly. It's a fair share, of per craft. I mean, there's really no fair way to do it, and we think it's a lot of fun. And I no other way I can possibly imagine to do something fairly this way. And if you craft more Lumberjacks, I think you should get more chances to win. Just
yeah.
Those rules totally make sense.
If the rules were different, then the rules would be different. But that is in keeping with the rules that we set up from the very beginning. That more tickets would be more entries. And so, yeah, that's as fair as it possibly can be. I mean, yes, you're right. It makes it harder for someone with less Lumberjacks to win. That's true. But, people who just the analogy Robert made with buying more lotto tickets is exactly right. If you could only afford to buy one and your neighbor could afford to buy 1,000, and he won, well, I mean, he had 1,000 times the chance that you had. So it just is what it is. Now, he invested 1,000 times more to get those better odds, right? So he took on greater risk than you did. So that is just kind of how it goes. You risk versus reward, right? People who take on higher risk, have a higher chance of reward. That's pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't we open this up to a little mini AMA? Before we do that, actually, you said that you wanted to share something. What you wanted to share stuff? What were you thinking about? Sneak peeks, guys. He wanted to share some sneak peeks.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them. I wanted to. Here we go. Let's see. I got a really hilarious one for you right here. Right here. I don't think this one's been shared yet.
Are you able to go to like share and then share screen? Do you see those options?
I'm not. I don't know.
I think
I
for me
don't.
it's at the very bottom.
Yeah, I
Is it like
do
mute,
have
stop
the
cam, settings, share?
button. I do have the button, but the problem is I'm actually using two different computers here. So
Oh.
my sharing is from the other computer. Because this computer, I have a really janky setup. I mean, I know it's a lot of fun to laugh about me being in the dungeon, but I really am in the dungeon here.
I can
My,
share whatever it is that you want to share. Just
I'll send it to you right now.
All right.
I'll send it to you. So this is a funny share. I think it'll be pretty obvious here in a second. Send them this.
Really? That's what that's the sneak peek you want to give them?
It's not. It's just the first one. I think we all deserve to laugh sometimes, right? It cracks me up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do this in a way that
It entertains the heck out of me.
Let's see. I think I'm just gonna have to download it and then open it in a thing. All right, so now I think I can.
Oh, now I gotta prep the real one for you.
All right. Yeah, I just had to manage a thing on my screen and then share screen, share window, and sharing. Ta-da!
Haha! There's Sir Caldor. He seems to have forgotten his armor. But we are going all the way down to the barest of parts to make sure that all of our avatars are the highest quality for you. And I thought the hard underwear was an awesome touch. That was just something funny that the artists did to kind of troll us when we requested the art, and I just loved it. It cracked me up. So let me send you some more. Hopefully, I'm not the only person that finds this hilarious, because I definitely find it hilarious.
The only thing that I have a problem with is that I guess when they drew him, they really weren't thinking about his endowment. So he looks a little like what is it called when you remove someone's man parts? A eunuch. He looks a bit like a eunuch. He's the Unsullied, guys. No, not really. He's not really like the Unsullied. It's just, I think it maybe wasn't something they were thinking about when they were making it. So
I don't think we posted any of these.
If we send this to them,
Yeah.
it's going to give away a little bit of something that we haven't told them yet. You know what I'm talking about?
I think we have told them about it, haven't we?
I think we might not be thinking of the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But
I don't have a problem with it.
We'll go ahead and we'll share this.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Sharing is caring, right? Isn't that how it goes? Something like that.
Yeah. So this is Sir Caldor with his other stuff on, right? Did you see this now, or is it just open?
I still see the new. Yeah, I still see the wrong one.
Yeah, it didn't open it in the right window. That's why. So I can do it this way. Sorry, guys. Oh, what do you mean it's giving me a...
Maybe you have
What?
to close that one first.
I can do it that
There
way.
we
I
go.
loaded it before. Put it in new window. But yeah, you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So you can see here, we have talked about in the past how you will have a lot of customization options for your characters, make them look how you want. And when we say a lot, we apparently mean a lot. It's been really awesome, and this is a very very small teaser compared to the amount of customization that we have. And these look like full sets of armor, which of course they are full sets of armor. But each of these pieces, this actually represents a full set of 10. So you will be able to mix and match some of these things. So if you really love that scavenger look, but you don't really like the covered face, and you'd rather have the big feathered cap from this other look, or maybe you really like the full metal look face on a different piece or a different shield. These will be modular. You will be able to put them together the way that you want. And we have had a couple people ask us about having a different setup from what they have actually equipped for stats reasons and what they have equipped for visuals. And we are keeping that in mind. So we'll let you know. These are, of course, these are sketches. They will be color. They will have color, just so you know. These are just concept designs. They'll be full color.
Yeah, and there's going to be 3 starting classes. The Knight is one of them. The Spellbinder, which is Luna, is the other one. And we haven't revealed too much yet of the last one, which is the Thief.
Right. I was going to say, I don't think we've revealed hardly anything of that guy.
Yeah.
But we've got a bunch. We have a bunch to reveal, so stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and what really excites me about, besides like, the dungeoning and stuff, is and just the typical fighting of monsters that will happen inside of the dungeoning, is the self-expression thing, being able to make these characters look the way that you want them to. And we're really putting a lot of resources into getting the best artwork, into making backgrounds, monsters, all that really good stuff. So we have, I think, almost like 4 artists working for us simultaneously on all of these. And so we're really happy with what they're coming back with. And the other thing that we're working on as well is the website, and so we have artists working on that as well. Let's see.
Let's see if I can make some of these wishes come true. I don't want to share that one yet. That one's cool. So this what we've shown here for an example, so you guys understand the scope. There's 3 different armor sets here. I'm looking right now at 12 on my end. So and that's not even halfway done. So there's a lot of depth here. A lot of depth.
Yeah, I think on my list it's almost like 20.
Well, yeah. This is just for this character, and this is just what we have so far.
Yeah, and I think it's almost like 20 different sets per character. I think we're kind of close to where, I think eventually we're going to try to make them all the same. But right now we're just like make them really cool and do this and do that. We have big lists of all the really cool types of armor that they can have.
Von Condor's question there: can you mix different armor parts? Yes, with some limitations. Obviously, you can't. It's not going to be like you can mix and max literally every single piece. But we've broken it down into 10 slots. I guess technically 11. But we don't need to talk about number 11 yet. But so there's 10 slots per character. So an example, like you can't break it down from like left boot from right boot. There you can't. Unfortunately, we're not going to go quite that hardcore with customization, but you can definitely have different boots then you have pants and different weapons and shields, and not necessarily every time will the offhand or the main hand be the same. So, like even in this example, you can see that he's got a sword in one, a mace in another, and a spiked gauntlet. So there's going to be a lot of different options for what type of weapons they've got in, and a lot of it is cosmetic. But that's that's your self-expression. So hopefully it should be a lot of fun. And to answer the question on screen, common to mythic is the plan. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we have listed out is equipment from common to mythic. Um,
Kay has a good question down there at the bottom. So it'll depend on the character. So we have the characters have a certain stance, and they have a certain set of equipment that they have, and that needs to make sense for the stance that they're in. So some characters may be more inclined to have something like a two-handed weapon. In this case, this character is mostly focused on one-handed weapon and shield type. And so in it, but that does include swords and axes, just one-handed versions. Though I would say there's definitely a possibility of two-handed stuff in the future, but I don't want to go too much into that just yet.
see, Crypto AI has another question about, will sets of equipment give a bonus over mixed parts? There's no plan for that right now. The equipment actually plays a pretty important role in terms of like the bonuses it gives you, and it's a fairly kind of like tight economic system that we're building, and so. We're not ready to reveal yet how the system works, but we are going to reveal a lot about how dungeoning works closer to the launch of the Royal Courthouse event. Ooh, that's another thing we could actually reveal in the stream. Actually, is we did just get the final artwork for the Royal Courthouse. I can show them what that looks like.
Ooh. And if you hadn't heard yet about the finalized costs, we did lock in the cost for the Royal Courthouse. If you hadn't heard that yet, so what you see on the calendar page and the white paper is the final cost for the Royal Courthouse. That is locked in, so you can plan accordingly.
It says, do different classes have a passive which give the thief plus extra items to carry and stuff like that? Yeah, like I was saying before, the economic system in terms of like statistics and how that stuff works is very tight. So no, there's not a lot of like passive bonus type stuff that you might see like in Dungeons and Dragons, where equipping something gives you like a +1 to insight, and then also once a day allows you to carry 10 more pounds for 5 minutes. It doesn't, it's not really that kind of system. It's more like the roles are pretty set for the equipment and what it plays in terms of stats and rarities. Yeah, you're not going to see too many like weird rules added to the equipment. It's going to be pretty straightforward in terms of progression and use. I think Jetta was saying, please keep cosmetics separate from the stack gear. No promises there, because the way we have it listed out right now, that the stats are basically related to the rarities, and the cosmetics are related to the rarities. So I know it'd be cool to you'd probably think it'd be nice to mix and match those things, but I think that's one layer of complexity above what we want to have in our system. And when it comes to blockchain, adding complexity, guys, makes a really big difference. And I think this is where a lot of other blockchain games fail. Is they're like, oh, well, we'll just let the players do this and then do that. And then once the players get in there, they're like, okay, well, now there's this and that and that and that. And then, it can be a headache for the players, too many options. And then for the building of the contracts, can be a real pain in the butt. When you design smart contracts, you really want them to be as efficient and tiny as possible. And the more rule sets and things you create inside of the contracts, the more difficult it is to make them. In fact, when it comes to how Apex has lately been reducing the amount of CPU that gets
Very
consumed
helpful.
when you take actions in the game, it's actually them just removing excess code that makes basically the contract take longer to complete. So they just basically keep making it more lean, and that actually makes it faster for you guys. So we really need to be careful about how much extra we try to put into the smart contracts. You know what I mean? Trying to be very efficient with these things.
All of that having been said, though, we will keep that in mind. Okay, we'll do our best as far as cosmetics, because we know how much cosmetics is going to matter to you guys. So we will keep it in mind as we go forward, and it may be something that gets developed on, um, maybe first pass doesn't have everything we want it to have, but we will continue as with castles. Development will be ongoing, right? So there will, when Dungeons first comes out and you're able to play it, it's very possible it doesn't have every single feature even we want it to have. There will be more that gets rolled out over time. So we'll keep it in mind for sure.
We'll come back to the question, Jed. I brought this one on the page, which was when will be the next Baron sell. We haven't really discussed this too much yet. I feel like maybe we should kind of move it back a bit, and just I think we just need to mix things up a little bit from how we did it last time. So whether that's like doing it in the middle of next month instead of at the first, I just don't want it to feel the same as well. I want it to definitely feel different. So we might kind of mix things up a bit on you guys. And instead of having it be like, oh, well, like every day, the first of the month, we're going to get those new Barons. We might kind of mix it up. Like, maybe it's on the second week of the month. Maybe it's on the third week of the month. Maybe we just wait until the end of the next month. I think the entire game will benefit from a little more uncertainty about when the Barons will drop. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna. The most important thing to me, more than exactly the date, is that we have a better process for everybody to be on the whitelist and do the purchasing of Barons. So that's more important to me. But it is very possible that in order to make that experience the best it can be, and make it so that bots have little or no impact on the drop itself, it may mean that we do it a week later. So timing definitely doesn't have to be strictly on the first day of the month, especially if that falls on a weekend, and we have some special ways to prevent there from being bots and things like that. We may adjust days so that it falls on a Wednesday or a Thursday. That way we can make sure we have all hands on deck just in case we need a little extra help.
Yeah, and to go back to Jetta's question, again, he was saying if I want to look like a new player but mythic stats, it should be possible. Well, I'm not sure we'll allow for that, but I will say that it's actually going to be kind of easier to have, like, say, a new hero, because like many of our systems, we try to make our game foolproof in terms of multi-accounting. So like we don't really want to give you a reason to multi-account in our game. Hey, if you want to have as many assets as you want under your one account, fine. Like we try to build our systems to allow for that, so you can actually own multiple classes of and we think probably infinite amount of classes in one account for your heroes. So if you want to have 10 knights, you can have 10 knights, and maybe one of them's common and you can go play with him, and then you can have your mythics as well. You can have if you're lucky enough to have mythic mythic hero and mythic armor, you can go ahead and have those as well. So the system is going to allow for that, for having multiple heroes, and they'll all be useful. Like if you have a hero, you're probably going to want to be playing with it. And so what we actually call these guys great heroes. So here's new information for you guys. We consider the knight, the spellbinder, and the thief what we call great heroes. The great heroes are fairly scarce. There's not going to be really, enough of them for everybody out there, especially in terms of the high rarities. And even the common ones might be pretty rare-ish. But what we're also going to have is what we call aspiring heroes. And the aspiring heroes are basically an infinite supply of heroes. So like, hey, if there's someone and they only have $10 and they can't afford a common hero, they can go ahead and buy an aspiring hero for $10 because they're an infinite supply. And those aspiring heroes share a limited amount of treasure pool. So they're all sharing the same pool. We think it's maybe something like 5% of the entire loot that is being generated inside of the game. And the other 95% is, the common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, mythic heroes. All those guys get the lion's share of everything. And if you want to buy like a $10 hero, $30 hero, aspiring hero, they're an infinite supply, but the more they get bought, basically the less share they all get each. So you can probably buy as many of those guys as you want as well. And of course, it's just up to you guys to decide, how that works out, how much you want to buy. But yeah, I thought I'd just give you guys a little bit of tidbit there. Any kind of like common hero is probably going to be for the most part rare, and everything up is going to be obviously even rarer. So we think this will be a fun way to allow anybody to just get into dungeoning with these infinite supply aspiring heroes. But hey, if you get a great hero, and there's only so many of these guys, and so we think that's a really exciting way to do dungeoning. Like, hopefully when you play dungeoning, you'll feel that you're really having like a rare and fun experience. That feeling of like, there actually isn't, enough of these assets for everybody. There is this big scarcity component inside the game, and it's pretty cool just to even have a common hero.
Absolutely, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I wanted to mention it too. The scarcity that we have, scarcity among our assets is a big thing for us. It always has been, and that's one of the reasons why we've really stuck to our guns with the limits on barons and things like that. And a lot of people think about the glory of having a fully decked out mythic hero with a full suit of mythic equipment, and of course that is possible, but that's going to be really, really tough. Very, very tough. Very few people will achieve that. I'm sure people will achieve it because anything that can be achieved will be achieved if you give people the right tools. But it's going to be tough. They're going to have a lot. They're going to be super scarce, super, super scarce.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty competitive economy for the dungeoning, I think. But that's part of what makes it fun, is that there's so much fierce competition for all the rare assets out there and the scarce assets. And yeah, it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to be pretty simple, this whole thing, and but also fun. Where is? I just saw one. It was about the Baron prices. Someone's asking, will the drop price be for the next Baron? We haven't decided internally yet. We were originally discussing having it be more, and we're talking about more could be like, twice as much as the cost right now. I think we'll have to take in consideration because we are giving you guys the free farms, and I think hopefully that erases kind of the bad taste about what happened with the last drop. But yeah, I think we're not going to reveal that yet. It's still something we need to discuss. I think there's potential that it's still going to be more than the last drop, which was $249. So I think we've let those go for about as cheap as we can for that. Well, here's an interesting comment. It will be interesting how the dungeon economy relates to the current farming merging economy. The way that they play is actually very different. The only thing that's kind of the same is that it's still pretty strong when it comes to market strategizing, like how are you going to strategize your interaction with the in-game economy, and basically the buying and selling and trading of assets. It has some similarity there, but otherwise, in terms of how it functionally plays and the decision you make and how you make those decisions are I think more. I think it's a good combination of both, market game economy and dungeoning. And no one's ever done anything like this before. I think that's the best way I can say it is, and it's made possible by, blockchain technology. And it's also made possible by knowing what you guys like to do inside of blockchain games. We know what people, for the most part, seem to like to do. We already did the lands and merging, but we also know that you guys like opening packs. We know you guys like, kind of strategizing on the market, like when are you going to buy things, when are you going to sell things, and so we've taken that all into consideration. And I'm excited, super excited, cannot wait. Going to reveal more information closer to the Royal Courthouse. Will this great heroes be craftable from current resources only, or will there be drops or fair way for everyone to get it? You want to talk about that, Josh?
Yeah, this question, and there's another one, similar question down below. So this is a good question. There will be a limited drop for these that you'll be able to buy, and that won't happen until much closer to its release. So there will be a limited amount that will be dropped that you will be able to purchase in the form of packs, as you probably expect it to be, but the majority of this stuff will actually be obtained through gameplay. And so as players play the game, they will be able to get more heroes through the dungeon gameplay itself. And whether that means they have a new one that they will start decking out with gear and using themselves, or they'll sell it or give it to their guildmates, or whatever you want to do with it, that'll be up to you. But there will be a drop from us to kind of get the game going, and then from there, it'll be gameplay based.
Yeah, and to tie that into Fubo's last question about how the economy relates to the current merging economy. Actually, the plan is to have like Metasource and lumber and fine wood actually be needed for the dungeon and expansion still. So even though you can't craft a hero, per se, but you have to get them from either the opening of the packs or dungeoning. You can actually open up like loot box and get like a hero. There will be places to spend fine wood and royal seals inside of the dungeoning in order to essentially participate in the economy. I probably don't want to say too much about it right now because we're also still, going over details. They are going to interact. They are going to interact, and you might not be able, you're not going to be able to craft like a hero, but you will be able to get yourself some dungeoning resources by spending fine wood.
I like the I want to that question from Crypto Fun there. A royal seal.
You want to highlight it because I don't see it.
I'm not sure if I have the ability to do that.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I don't. How do you do it?
You just click on the name. It says show.
No, I don't. Oh wait, there you go. That's the one. Yeah. Yes. Long story short, yes. We've mentioned this a number of times before, but it's worth repeating. Royal seals will be used throughout our game economies as more expansions come in. So definitely includes dungeoning. There will definitely be royal seal uses in there. Exactly what they will be, you'll have to wait till we get a little closer to kind of see how that is, but they will be very used in that system.
Yeah, definitely. The idea is to always have a high use case for royal seals. We're always going to support the Royal Courthouse. So Healthy is asking, any plan for like a guild house that provides resources to members in return of some reward, sort of a scholarship system? Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I can't get too into the specifics on this, but this is something that we had a discussion about just the other day. So while I can't get into specifics, this is very much on our mind. We are planning to have some ways that guilds can get into the game and have some ways of working together and things like that. Um, I mean, there's also more to it that we do already have planned, but probably too early to tell you about. But we are definitely keeping guilds in mind. And I guess I can tease that there is a possibility of a wonder in the future closer to dungeoning release, a wonder that will still be crafted through the limited time crafting system using lumber and fine wood and etc. Wonder bounty that will be very specifically related to dungeoning. And that's definitely another way that you can expect to see the gameplay from both systems really start to intertwine. There will definitely be a lot of things like that.
All right. And Louis says, will too much scarcity on heroes hinder new players from coming in? So I'll repeat what I said last time, which is actually there's going to be very cheap infinite heroes that will get you into dungeoning. They will share a treasure pool. So basically the more of those heroes exist, the less of the line share that they will get of the total treasure basically that can be looted from dungeoning. But hey, you got $10, you can play dungeoning like that. But hey, if you want to have like the really cool heroes, if you want to access the best features in dungeoning, we actually, we have some assets that basically, they are scarce and they have some of the coolest functions in dungeoning. But there's only going to be so many of them. Most likely, you're going to have to pay someone else a pretty penny in order to get the coolest features in dungeoning, and that's just how the game is designed. If you want to come in and get started, we want you to be able to get in for as little cost, and we're planning to hopefully have our lands be much scarcer in terms of the user base, so that maybe it's harder to get a farm. Right now I think farms like $8, $10, something like that.
Yeah, I haven't looked today specifically. It was bouncing between those numbers.
Yeah, but our goal is that there's more players, so that a farm is there's not financial advice, but hopefully a farm would be $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 in the future, and that is then going to start to put it out of reach of new players. But you'll always be able to get into dungeoning for like 10 to 30, so yeah, that is me answering that question. You want to answer this one? I'm going to put up the image of the Royal Courthouse while you answer this.
Yeah, go for it. Sure. So right now, the Metasource token. So I've had a lot of people come in and make comments about Metasource sinks, lumber sinks, fine wood sinks, etc. And you've got to wait for the whole picture to be in place for you to really see this. Metasource token already has way more than enough sinks. And lumber already has way more than enough sinks. And fine wood will have way more than enough sinks. The only thing that the reason why you're making the comment about these things right now is because the gameplay is not all the way finished. And so the carpenters aren't out yet. And then the courthouse, which you're now seeing on screen, isn't out yet. The Explorers Guild isn't out yet. So right now, what you should be thinking about is the fact that this is rolling out in stages is what makes it easy for people to get into it. Okay. The further down the road these things get. So think about it this way. We just made 10,000 lumberjacks. But in order to recharge them and get those 10,000 to do another week, you'd need 4 billion Metasource, okay, to recharge all of them. There's not even close to that much Metasource in existence right now. Not even close. And so as the systems and the full circle of life, as the full circle of the game economy comes into play, you will see it clicking a lot better. Right now, this is the opportunity while things are not finished to get in before the circle is complete. Because once lumber and M-Source are being used more for their full intended purposes, your ability to get them it's going to be more difficult. Scarcity is increasing constantly increasing. A month from now, lumber is going to be burned constantly, recharging carpenters and crafting wonders. And then a month from that, or half a month further, how you look at it, it's going to be being burned constantly for all of those same things and the Explorers Guild. And then not only the Explorers Guild bounty itself, but also the land packs, the Explorers expeditions, whether that's the by land or by sea, right? You're going to need fine wood. And those things are going to constantly be burning lumber. You're going to constantly be burning fine wood, constantly be burning M-Source. And so once those things are all in place, it's going to be pretty intense. So everybody needs to just be aware of these systems. Right now, things are cheap. It makes it easy for you to get in as a new player. But in the future, if you expect lumber to still be super, super available, then you're just not paying attention, because we're not going to have a Lumberjack event like this again, period. Now, people have asked, will we be able to make more Lumberjacks in the future? Well, it's possible that we'll allow you to make more Lumberjacks in the future, but never at a discount like we've given you this first time. It will never be as cheap as it was this first time. So, you need to make sure you're looking at the long-term picture of the economy. And of course, be looking at this beautiful picture of the Royal Courthouse. Because it's more interesting than what I'm saying, but make sure that you do keep the big picture in mind, because stuff is gonna burn. All right, the world is gonna burn. As Healthy, I think it was Healthy mentioned just a moment ago. Yeah, 87% of all the M-Source ever made is burned. Okay, and the number is only getting higher. The recharge cost is 4 times higher than it was to craft them. So
yeah, and the whole point is that it's
burn.
fun, right? That the burning of M-Source is fun. Are you
So
still
go
there?
ahead, tell us about this courthouse. It's beautiful.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the Royal Courthouse. This is what you guys are going to help Baron von Bart build during the Royal Courthouse event starting, is it May 3rd? I think it's May 3rd.
Something like that. It sounds right.
Yeah. And so this is what you guys are going to help him build. So inside the game, when you actually, if you were to think of this like in, kind of like playing it out in your head, like what does it look like? Is you're basically helping the Baron get all of this lumber and this fine wood, and you're helping him get the royal seal approvals, and then you hand him those resources, and in exchange, he gets to build the Royal Courthouse. He gets to use your resources to build the courthouse, and he gives you basically like a sheet of paper that is a bounty for getting you those resources to build the wonder. So inside of like the story of the game, that's what's happening. So you are getting in exchange what we call a bounty. So the bounty itself, the NFT, is going to look a little bit different. It's probably going to be like a scroll or something like that, with like the image of the courthouse on it. But the courthouse itself actually looks like this. It is this big, massive, beautiful building that is probably one of the biggest, most awe-striking building in the land of Castelia, which is where Castles takes place. And they actually spent a lot of time on this. And the Explorers Guild is also having another iteration done on it. Another pass is being done to add more detail on it. But yeah, as you guys can see, like there is a lot of detail in here. I'm not even sure this is actually the biggest that we can make this image. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure this is maybe about 400% smaller than the final version, or maybe 200%. Like it's a really big image. So yeah, that is the Royal Courthouse, guys, finished and complete.
Looks amazing. The resolution is beautiful.
Right.
Looks super nice.
And this was a question I wanted to answer, was how many characters can we use to play dungeons? Will there be one hero per dungeon? We have the option to go in the dungeon both solo and multiplayer. We built it so that it's scalable, so that you can have as many heroes as you want, and as much CPU as you have, and as heroes as you have, you can play them. So if you want to have, one hero, sure. If for some crazy reason you're able to afford 100 heroes, you can play with those too. There are going to be some limitations, but there's not going to be a limitation on like, you basically, as long as you have a hero and that hero has their own internal resources, you'll be able to play with them. We can't reveal too much of the system, but I will say that we try to think of it from your perspective. Like if we were you guys, like how would you want it to work? We don't want to like put up paywalls, like obscene paywalls. Like we don't want to be like, oh, so you want to play with your hero? Well, you have to spend like a whole bunch of money to do it. Because we think that's kind of unfair. Sure, you might need some resources, continue playing with your hero, but it shouldn't be like crazy. It should be pretty commensurate with essentially the resources that your hero is able to return to you from their questing. When I've tried to come up with the dungeoning system, I was like, what would I be excited to play? I try to stay away from stuff that I think is stupid, basically. Like if I'm like, oh, I try to not make a stupid system, it's like, oh, well, no, now I have to, why can't I do that? Like, they're so stupid. Like, why would they do it that way? Like, I hate it. Like, people know me. I'm hypercritical of other blockchain games. And every day I'm like, why did they do it that way? And I'm sure there are a lot of hypercritical thinking people in art, because we get it all the time too, right? There are lots of people in our Discord like, well, why did you guys do it this way? And we have our reasons. And I think the more time goes on, the more people share reasons, and people also see we're flexible, like being able to offer you guys an opportunity to burn lumberjacks later for resources. So we're flexible in the choices we make. But yeah, hopefully I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole now. But yeah, in terms of multiplayer, will you be able to go solo multiplayer? Like Josh was speaking to earlier, there's probably going to be incentives to having someone you trust, or we want to add in systems later for some cooperation, but it's too early to reveal how that works. But when we start to reveal more information closer to the Royal Courthouse event, hopefully it will start to make more sense, and you guys will start to see the possibilities.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, so as we are getting ready, oh, this is a good question. I'll get to that in a second. I did want to just clarify one question that's a quick one. And it might have been implied by what we were saying, but it Kraken plays down a little further, asks if you need a Baron to make the Royal Courthouse bounty. The answer is definitely not. You do not need to. When Robert was talking about helping the Baron build the Royal Courthouse, that's in universe, like the theme of the game. You're helping the Baron to build it. That's the story. It doesn't. You won't have to have a Baron for that. If you've got the lumber and fine wood and the royal seals, which the costs are on the website, they're in Discord. You'll be able to make it. You don't have to. You don't have to have a Baron. Definitely not.
If you can chop down all that wood and fine wood and get him royal seals, he'll give it to you. Like,
right.
All right.
And whether that's from your own crafters or you picked it up on the market and you want to make them, that doesn't matter either. You don't even have to have the lumberjack or carpenter to make it. You just have to have the resources. Obviously, having the crafters is going to make getting the resources probably a little easier, but if you pick them up on secondary, they'll still work no problem.
So with this next question, if I can kind of just start it off, which is that we're committed to castles. Castles development is going to, as far as I know, always continue developing. We're always going to be adding more to castles. It is a long-term game. It's not just like, we're done with it a year or two. It's like, as long as, as long as we can, we're going to keep adding new features, giving you guys cool new stuff. I don't think we're at all in, ever going to run out of cool ideas to add to castles. And as blockchain gaming matures, I think both Josh and I would like to also start to mature the game, and how do you interact with the castles world, and how do people who already have castles assets benefit from any future expansions. So castles is always on Wax is always going to continue to grow. In terms of any plans moving away from Wax, we have discussed possibilities, and we're not committed to anything yet. What we do know is that we're very happy with how things are going on Wax. We love our players here, and everything's going very well. Our development team is great. We are talking about the possibility of maybe adding basically like another version of castles on another blockchain, but we don't know when that would be, how that would be. It would probably be similar to like having a game on Xbox or having a game on PC or having a game on Nintendo. We would consider it probably as a separate platform. That also being said, we haven't decided anything yet. We're very focused on making the current experience of castles on Wax be great. So we don't want to basically start to dilute our focus and decrease, basically risk losing quality on what we're working on. So we're very focused right now on Wax, making this game great, getting the dungeoning out. And even after dungeoning, there's more. Like we actually have a lot planned, even, future expansions for dungeoning, as well as what comes after dungeoning and all those other use cases people are asking for Metasource. Like all that stuff is coming inside of castles. And, but yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Josh?
Yeah, I guess I would just, I think you settled it pretty well as far as, basically the short answer is not moving away from Wax at any point. Maybe expanding in addition to Wax at some point, but that's only a maybe. But I would like to add on, like you hinted at, we have a lot more depth even beyond dungeons, and even within dungeons. There's a lot of depth that can carry us through a lot of time. I think time is an important component that we should always keep in mind. When Dungeons comes out, it will have a certain amount of depth, but as time goes on, will we be able to increase the depth of the dungeons? And let's just say we're definitely keeping thoughts continuing on how we can consistently and continuously improve your experience. So dungeons is just the beginning, and more dungeons will probably follow dungeons, right? After dungeons, there will still be more dungeons after that too.
Yeah, and to continue, like, because I talked about the possibility of being on another chain, and I just want to let people know that if you're already in the game on Wax, if we did go to another chain and create basically a whole new version there, like on Solana or something, most likely we would reward you guys in some way. So it wouldn't be like, oh, well, now I got completely shafted on this whole new version on this other Solana chain. Like you guys, this brings me to what I want to say next, which is like, everyone who is here listening to this right now, whether it's your live or you listen to it later, like your experience is our number one priority. Like you guys are having fun with the game, and obviously we can't please everyone with everything that we do, but your experience of playing the game and having a great time and having fun and feeling engaged with the community and feeling like you belong with our community is our number one priority. So money is nice and everything, but we're doing pretty okay in terms of the money that the project is making, and we're reinvesting a lot of what we're earning back into the game, into the smart contracts. Like we've hired like a ton of people. Like we're now paying some of our partners 3 times more to 4 times more what we were paying them before, for them to continue creating quality work and faster. So, and to get their special attention so that we can provide you guys more stuff better, faster. And so when we start to roll out the new stuff, I think hopefully that'll reiterate our commitment to you guys that, for if you're, our priority, like money is nice and everything. And of course, more money, we do want to make millions of dollars, or rather get millions of dollars in investment in the future. And, but we also want to go the route of actually getting like venture capital investments, and not just, basically income from player revenue, but also from, it's like, hey, guy, like go talk to a venture capitalist, be like, hey, so we basically have like the metaverse killer ideas, and like, we know what we're doing in this space. We are all about providing value to our gamers, and we know how to do it better than anybody else. So invest in our company millions of dollars, and then have an IPO, all that good stuff. We do plan for those things, but every day what Josh and I wake up thinking about is like, how do we make your experience better? How do we make this game freaking fun? And then lastly, we start to think about the money, right? We start to think about the dollar signs, like how much are we going to make from this? Like, so we're not out for cash grabs, is what I'm trying to say. Is we've never been out about the cash grab. We've always been about getting you guys the best experience, the best games, getting you guys an experience that nobody else is giving you, because we know what it's like to be you sitting there being like, well, I wish people would get blockchain games right. Like, I wish they would be fun. I wish I could feel like I have assets that are valuable to me and valuable to other people, and that are consistently or continually moving up in their demand. Like, we know that's what you guys want, and that is our mission. That is what we are committed to above all else.
Yeah, I want to just add 2 things to that. I know. So we've been at this for over an hour and a half, so we'll probably start wrapping up here pretty soon. But the first thing I want to say is, it's obvious, I think, to everybody. Obviously, Robert is very passionate about this, and I know he can sometimes go down some rabbit holes, but it's because he's excited about what we're building. And I mean, that's super apparent to me, to everybody, I think. And so the first thing I want to say is just, we appreciate you, Robert. Thank you for, even though you go on long tangents, sometimes they're great, and we really love your passion. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But and then the second thing is what Robert was talking about, how the first thing that we wake up in the morning thinking about is, how do we consistently improve the game for you guys? And just a couple examples of this. So a little bit ago, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes ago, we were having a conversation here and in Discord about being able to recharge Barons early. Somebody asked us about, can I get the ability to recharge my Barons early? And they explained why in Discord, not in here, but they explained, that I have more Barons now than I had last week because I bought another one, and their mint timers are not the same. This 5 of them are minting on Monday, and the other 5 are on Thursday. Just giving arbitrary examples. And I really want to go ahead and mint some of them early. That way, they're all on the same day. And so we, it wasn't necessarily a feature we thought you guys wanted, but a few of you kind of chimed in and said, hey, I actually really do want to be able to recharge early. So I went ahead during the stream, I sent a message over to the devs, said, hey, can we do this? Can we get this updated so that people can recharge early? And they already got back to me, said, we'll do that first thing Monday. We'll make sure that rolls out. So, when you guys want something, if it's something that we can achieve for you, we want to give it to you. We want your experience to be as good as it possibly can be. We've got fantastic devs We are super receptive to your ideas. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to implement every single thing that everybody requests. We have a suggestion area, and sometimes we get all kinds of crazy ideas. And we're not going to implement every single one. But when it's a quality of life feature that it's within our ability to give it to you, we want to give it to you. Another request that people had made, I think it was yesterday, if I'm remembering right, was the ability to turn multiple of the lumber FTs, like the singles, the lumber NFTs, sorry, back into FTs at once. And we immediately got right on that. The devs have already they've already built that system, and I believe that's going to deploy on Monday too. So you will have the ability to burn multiple NFTs back into FTs very soon. So we're trying to get everything as smooth as it can be for you guys, as seamless, as responsive as you want it to be. We mentioned earlier too, our devs are always constantly looking at ways to improve the smart contracts to use less CPU. And that's always forefront of our mind, is how to make it better for you. And if you do have little quality of life features that you think we could add, please put them in suggestions. It's not always going to be as simple as you think it is. Sometimes with blockchains, things are harder than they appear to be. Sometimes, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's something that, oh, we hadn't thought of that, and it would be fairly easy for us to give you that. And if it is a good idea and it is something that we can do, then we're interested in making the game better for you. That's always always something that we want.
All right. All right. Gosh,
the brain. We got to like put our heads together here, like. Somebody screenshot this. Go.
Oh God, that's horrifying. Oh.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Somebody's gonna go back in the recording and take a screenshot of that. Somebody, we're gonna have emojis all over the Discord.
Cannot unsee. That's a funny one, Rabash.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah. All right. Well,
somebody help me find a good tricorn hat so I can order one. Find me a link to one so I can buy one. Big old Baron hat with a feather.
Oh,
it's gonna happen.
All right. Well, we got to get sending these packs out. So we appreciate you all joining us today and for participating in the Lumberjack crafting event. It was a whole lot of fun, and you guys make it worth it. It's always fun to come and chat with you guys in Discord. So thank you so much for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe. And anything else you want to say, Josh, before we sign off?
I think we've said enough. We've kept everybody almost 2 hours. Other than just thank you guys for being an awesome community. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. So really do remember that this is all for you. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great weekend, guys, and we will see you in the next video.